All right, my clock says 7.
Got one in the waiting room. All right.
No.
Well, I want to welcome everybody and thank you for joining us tonight to go over a few things as you make your final preparations to come to camp this summer. As we let a few more folks in, just want to remind everybody to please keep your microphones muted unless you're talking. We are recording this and we'll post a video to the summer camp website later this week. Anybody else needs to watch it. If you do have any questions, again, John and Jimmy are monitoring the chat room. So go ahead and ask your questions there. We will have a question and answer session towards the end where we'll open up your mics. But if you do have something that's just pressing and you feel the need to chime in, just let us know. We'll take a break and try to answer your questions. All right, Jimmy, we ready to roll?
I would say so.
So first, I just want to remind everybody, if you haven't already done so, to download a copy of the activity guide that's available on the summer camp website. There was the original preview guide, and then there was the updated version that had more current. And then also on that same page, there's an updated revised merit badge schedule. So make sure you're all looking at the most current updated information. Want to remind everybody, we still do have some spots open for our Mountain Man Virginia Backwoods Rendezvous program for some of the older scouts. So if you have anybody interested in those, particularly in week 2, we have some spaces available for that. Some things you need to remember. May 15th was a deadline to be paid in full. And avoid paying the late fees. If anybody hasn't gotten themselves paid in full and was having any issues yesterday, reach out to me before the end of the day today. We'll try to get you taken care of. Otherwise, starting tomorrow, you'll all be assessed to late fees for any registrations that aren't paid up in full. We've also extended the deadline to order t-shirts to May 28th. We do not plan to have a large quantity of summer camp t-shirts in the trading post this summer. We'll have several new designs of just general Camp Rock Enon t-shirts and apparel in the trading post, but the summer camp one with the pirate design will be very, very limited quantities. Once they're sold out, they'll be gone. So we're strongly encouraging everybody to order those in advance. If you hadn't already done so, under the products category in your registration, we found some problems with that. Didn't quite work the way we hoped. So we created an online order form, and we'll talk a little bit about that here coming up. Makes it a little bit simpler. But that deadline has been extended to May 28th. A couple other things, if you have any other family members or guests coming in during the week that plans on eating in the dining hall, need to purchase meal tickets in advance. Those can be done in your registration online under the products category. If you're an out-of-council unit, need to be getting us copies of your certificate of insurance or the letter of good standing from your council. Any scouts that want to partake in the cowboy action shooting in the evenings up at camp, that's open to 14-plus-year-old scouts, but it does require having a signed authorization form by the parent or legal guardian. So make sure you get that done before you come to camp. Remind everybody that they need their BSA medical forms, parts A, B, and C, that any adults coming to camp need to be registered with the BSA and also bring copies of their youth protection certificates. So remind them now so you don't have any surprises the day you're loading up the cars to come to camp. For your out-of-council units, again, typically we get either something that looks like this on the left, the certificate of insurance, or some councils send us a letter of good standing. This is just one example over here on the right. You can email those to me at crecampdirector@scouting.org, but also make sure you have a hard copy with you when you check in at camp this summer. A little bit more on the t-shirts. So again, we have the standard design with the pirate logo on the back and the CRE logo on the front in 9 or 10 standard colors available. Or for an optional premium upgrade, you can get the black tiger striped t-shirt with the design. You can scan this QR code or go to the URL listed there, and that will actually take you to an online form to place the order. Standard colors available here, 10 to choose from, or the black tiger stripe. If you are ordering less than 24 total shirts and you want to have your unit number underneath the CR logo on the front of the t-shirt, there's a $20 setup fee. If you don't want your unit number on there and you're ordering less than 24 shirts, just say I don't want it on there, and we'll just print you the t-shirt with a design on the back, the CRE logo on the front, but no unit number. And again, you go to that link and it takes you to an online form here. You give us your information, what week you're coming to camp, what color shirt you want, what sizes you want, if you want to upgrade to the black tiger stripe, if you want to pay the setup fee for your unit number, if you're ordering less than 24 shirts, it'll calculate for you, it'll take payment, and then it'll send an email to me so that I can get all the t-shirt orders compiled and placed in time. If you happen to have ordered t-shirts under the products category in your registration, I've already gone through all those, and I've reached out to you if I had questions, and some of you have already gotten back to me, some I'm still waiting to hear from. You do not need to go and duplicate the order on this new form. So what to expect when you arrive at camp this summer? About a week before you come, we're going to reach out to you and assign a 30-minute arrival window. We started doing this a couple years ago, got very positive feedback. It seems to work, help make the day go better for everybody, minimize large groups standing around waiting. So we'll do that again. So about 1 week prior, we'll send you an email telling you here's your 30-minute arrival window. If you're coming in multiple vehicles and you're traveling long distances where you're getting separated, we encourage you to pre-stage at the Livestock Exchange in Winchester, which is basically right at the exit when you get off of 37 onto 50. And that is about 25-minute ride from that point to get to camp. When you actually get to camp, members of staff will greet you in the parking lot and assign a troop guide to help get you out to your campsite. We'll get all your scouts to your campsite, some of your other adult leaders. You'll be allowed to have one vehicle at a time to transport gear to your campsite. If you're pulling an equipment trailer, you'll be allowed to pull it into the campsite and unhook. The vehicle needs to go back to the main parking lot. Lots of traffic going on check-in days. A lot of roads are one way, in and out. So we got to manage the amount of vehicles going in. So it'll be one at a time. You will not be allowed to leave your vehicles in camp during the week. So we encourage you to consolidate your gear into as few vehicles as possible. Makes check-in go a lot simpler. Once you're in your campsite, we will come to you to do your different orientations and administrative reviews instead of marching you all around camp and making you stand in line at different stations. So in your campsite, we'll come around, review your rosters, look at your proof of insurance, your youth protection certificates, your medical forms and med checks. We'll review the programs with you and do the shooting sports safety review. So that while you're waiting on us, other things are going on, you can work on unpacking your gear and getting your campsite set up. Once all that is done, and you have not already done your swim checks, we'll then take you down to the lake to do your swim checks. We encourage you to do them in advance, either at a local pool or a local camp. If you do choose to take that option, there's a very specific form that BSA requires. It's available in the activity guide. You need to have the person that does the swim checks fill out that form, and they must attach a copy of their certifications onto that form so we know that the person did it was qualified to do so. Our aquatics director, has the right to ask you to retest if necessary. If you'd like to come to camp to do some pre-checks, swim checks, we're working on being able to do that. I believe it's the week, the 16th. Is that a Saturday?
That's Friday.
So 17th of June, There'll be some opportunities to do some swim checks up at camp, if you'd like to come up to do that, if you're local. And then on Sunday, the rest of the day, the schedule, 6:45, we'll be meeting in the parade field for opening flag ceremony. Dinner is pushed to 7. Rest of the week, it'll be at 6, but on check-in day, it's at 7 in the dining hall. 7:45, leader SPL meeting in Bowman Lodge. 8 o'clock in the parade field, there is going to be a camp-wide capture, the pirate flag, staff versus campers. And then at 9 o'clock, we'll do our opening campfire in the campfire circle. If you haven't already figured it out, there's information in the activity guide on links and videos on how to use the Tenaroo system. Hopefully you've already done that. Jimmy's going to talk a little bit about our Friday festival tournaments.
Yes, so on Friday, what we're doing a little differently this year is we are moving away from a Monday through Friday schedule. We are keeping with the 4 merit badge time slots, as I'm sure you all know. But merit badges will run from Monday to Thursday. And then on Friday, we are opening up to a full free day of activities. Some need sign up, such as some of the merit badges that we are offering on Friday. However, come the Friday evening, we are going to be hosting the Festival of Tournaments, which for some will be the last chance to get some major Spirit Week points. For the rest is just a lot of fun. So the general schedule is starting at around 4:30, which is when most classes are going to be starting to end. And I actually have some sessions even not being offered during that time anyway. At 4:30, the water carnival will start at aquatics. And that will end at 5:50 right before dinner. Because during the festival, we'll actually have a segment that's in the waterfront, and we need the lifeguards available to actually be focusing on that event and not just open swimmers. So the last chance to go swimming will be during that water carnival from 4:30 to 5:50. We'll have dinner. Then the festival will begin. It will be focused around the handicraft aquatics area. And then from there, we will transition after 7:50. We'll pack it all away. We'll do the flag ceremony, award ceremony up at the buttress. And from there, after the award ceremony is over and after the staff is ready down at the campfire circle, we will transition into closing campfire. We'll march everyone back down to the fire break. So in detail, the water carnival will be games in all sections of waterfront. So there'll be a couple boating games. There will be some games in the beginner section, some games in the swimmer section to sort of incorporate more people. We'll be doing things like sharks and minnows, log roll, Scoutmaster belly flop will be during that time. We'll have a diving challenge, a treasure hunt, some games that we have developed and some we have found online that we think might be fun. Dinner is food. The Festival of Tournaments will actually commence like I said, in that area between the waterfront up at Handicraft and around. We'll be just running a bunch of tournaments, and each unit that wins them will be receiving Spirit Week points. Also during this time, we will start what we are calling the Pirate Run. It is our themed version of the Amazing Race that will start at the bridge between the parking lot and camp. It will incorporate a section of the lake, a diving section, we'll do a riddle challenge, and it will end with a short orienteering course to find a bit of treasure. The first team to find the bit of treasure will win the points. Now, in order for this to run smoothly, the way the Pirate Run will work is that throughout the week, all of the units will have the opportunity to get together and to form cohorts or teams. And you will find your best people in all of your units to compete in the different segments of the race. I do believe I have it clocked out at about 7 segments, with multiple people being needed for each part. So it will be a race, just like the Amazing Race, that will incorporate all of camp and a lot of scout skills. And of course, the flag ceremony is the flag ceremony. The award ceremony will be where we give out Scoutmaster merit badges, the unit elite awards, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So if you can't stand for a long time, be prepared to sit in the grass or bring a camping chair. After that, we will march everyone back down to the campfire circle for closing campfire. So after the tournament, it will just move from event to event to event. There really isn't a scheduled time, despite the fact that I wrote down a scheduled time on here. We're just going to move from one thing after another. So it's almost paramount that you show up to our flag ceremony when it begins. That's all.
Thanks, Jimmy. All right, so up now is a general schedule for the week for Scouts BSA. Program times will run from 9 to 11:45, broken up into 2 75-minute sessions in the morning. And then again, from 2 to 4:45 with 2 more 75-minute sessions. Each afternoon, you'll have open swimming and open boating from 3:30 to 5 for swimming and 4:30 for boating. Meals are at 8, noon, and 6, with the exception of check-in day. Dinner's at 7. Free time after dinner, and then followed by evening program and activities. Vespers is going to be on Tuesday evening now up at the Chapel Hill. And then you'll have a veteran and Eagle social on Monday evening and OA social on Wednesday evening. In the evenings, there's lots of other fun things to do. Open swimming, open shooting, climbing, handicrafts, some different scout skills. Every day has its different schedule. All of this is in the activity guide. Merit badge schedule. I'll just remind you all, make sure you're using the current activity guide. And then also on the website, there's a separate revised merit badge schedule that was put out separate from the activity guide. As we were able to hire some more staff, we were able to add some things back in that we thought we were going to have to leave out. So the schedule's there. Hopefully you've been using it to get your kids signed up for the different merit badges. Just to remind everybody, first year camper program, Frontier, is a 3-hour session. So they're either going to take it in the morning or they're going to take it in the afternoon, where they will work on various rank requirements, tenderfoot through first class. New this year, different from prior years, they will also earn the first aid merit badge as part of the Frontier program. So they do not need to sign up for the first aid merit badge separately. Once you sign up for Frontier, you're automatically signed up for first aid. That will be taught over in the Frontier area, separate from where the regular first aid merit badge is. We ask that adult leaders come and help assist in the instruction of the various activities. Frontier is usually a big group with a small staff. We try to break them up into smaller groups, but the more leaders we have out there will make it a much more positive experience for the Scouts. And then if you're signed up in the morning session of Frontier, they'll be able to sign up for other merit badges in the afternoon or vice versa. Okay. As Jimmy mentioned, this year, new, the merit badge program is designed to be a Monday through Thursday 4-day deal. One of the things we found last year when we went to that 75-minute session was that was more productive. We were able to finish sooner, but last year kids were not having anything to do the end of the week, or the staffers were dismissing them early every day in fear of they were going to run out of things to do. So 4-day program, Monday through Thursday for the merit badge schedule. And then on Friday, there's a variety of other things that they can choose from. Some are merit badges, some are just activities. These are just some of them. There's a lot more options out there. to pick and choose from. So hopefully they'll find that changes it up a little bit for them. Just want to remind everybody that on your Tentaroo registration system, there's a variety of reports that you can access. You go into your registration, you click on that manage button or reports button, and you can print off invoices, you can print your rosters, you can print out your schedules and whatnot. At the end of the week, you'll be able to go and download the blue cards or the records of completions. Food service menus available online for review. We are set up to be able to support gluten-free, vegetarian, and pork-free with advance notice. Other food allergies or dietary restrictions, we'll need to have a dialogue with the person to understand what their needs are and if it's something that we can assist with. Otherwise, they'll need to be prepared to bring their own food. We'll have a place for them to store it and all that. Someone from the unit will need to prepare that for them. My staff will not have the ability to do that. So you can go online to sac-bsa.org/CRE food service, fill out the online form, tell us what's going on. It'll send an email to our kitchen staff. We'll review it. If we have any questions, we'll respond back to you. For example, if you're gluten-free, what week are you coming? Who are you? What unit? We'll know, and then we'll have gluten-free options available for you. On the menu that we're offering this summer, anything that is highlighted in green, we'll have a vegetarian alternative. Anything that's highlighted in red, we'll have a gluten-free alternative, but only if you tell us in advance that that's something you need. So, any questions in the chat room that we need to discuss, John? Share?
Not that I see at this point.
All right, well, we'd like to encourage anybody that wants to ask a question to unmute yourself and chime in. We'll try to answer your questions as best we can, and if not, we'll take some notes and get back to you.
All right, we do have one right here. If we put a vegetarian into the Scouts registration, is that sufficient?
No.
For those of the
So what was the email then again for that one? For the food?
It's in the
Instructions?
activity guide, but it's basically sac-bsa.org/CRE food service.
Thank you.
John is getting the link to post into the chat for anyone who needs it.
Any other questions?
I have one scout arriving late Monday and one leaving all day Tuesday. How is it done?
I would refer you to the activity guide where it talks about early release procedures. And then when on Sunday, if you have somebody arriving late, it would be helpful if you had your paperwork with you on check-in day. And then just when they come out to your campsite to do your orientation, let them know that this person's arriving late. We'll set up arrangements to greet them when they come. But if you have all their paperwork and stuff with you at check-in day, that just helps makes things go smoother when they do show up.
And when they do show up, our check-in process is generally the same as it's always been. You come into camp, you go up to Buffalo, you get your band, your wristband, you sign in, then you go over to the health officer and sign in from there as well.
All right, any other questions? Otherwise, we'll move along.
You're welcome, Norm. He says, thanks for taking the time to do this.
All right, John, any other questions?
Jimmy's been getting them.
All right. Do out of council provisional scouts still need a cert of insurance?
Yes. It's usually a year.
Yeah. Clarification on geology schedule says Friday class, but in description says Tuesdays only in 4th block. That might be just something we missed from last year. It is offered on Friday and Friday only. You can disregard on Tuesday. It is not offered on Tuesday. Although I do believe we have the geology truck open Tuesday, correct?
He's gonna be there all week long, but I believe that's one of the things you need to do, like in the Scoutmaster merit badge thing, is find typos in the activity guide. So,
Well, there you go.
all right. Anything else before I move along?
So far, nothing.
All right, we can always circle back, right? So what's next? If you haven't already done so, please finalize your registrations, pay all your balance due, finish up signing up the kids for the merit badges and other things on Friday that might require signing up for an advance, like the advanced climbing or paddle boarding. Not everything on Friday requires signing up. There's lots of other things that'll just be going on. Verify that all your adults coming to camp have completed their youth protection training, that they're registered with the BSA. Get those out of council certificates of insurance or letters to us. Make sure you also bring a hard copy with you on check-in day. Make sure all your participants have their medical forms, parts A, B, and C. Again, even if you put in the individual person, youth or adult's profile, that they are allergic to something, it doesn't show up easily for us to track that. So you go online and fill out the form at CRE Food Service. Or if you need to report a special need, go to special needs. It'll send us an email and get the right people information, and so we can reach out and start a dialogue if necessary. Also in the activity guide is the rules for the Gaga pit. We would encourage you to review that and appropriate behavior with the scouts so that we don't have to shut the Gaga pit down. And the code of conduct of how we're supposed to behave with each other and treat each other and act as scouts. If you would please review that with them, that would be very helpful. Want to remind everybody that we have lots of new things in the trading post, so bring your cash and your credit cards, new belts, new shirts, new drinkware, new knives, new backpacks, lots of new stuff. I think you'll find it something that you just got to have. We still have a few positions for staff where you would like to find at least one more lifeguard. We would like to find a few more people to work in the kitchen. We're definitely looking for more 14-year-old scouts that may be coming up to camp for a week, but want to spend another week as a counselor in training. So we encourage you to talk to your scouts about that as a possibility. And I think we're still looking for somebody in nature, right?
I believe we would love to have one more from nature.
One more in nature. So. And again, just reminding you, week 2, we have more space available for the Mountain Man program. It is a fabulous program. Doug Cochran and Mike Cook and John Thomas and all those guys over there have put a fabulous program. It's a different experience for these kids, something different from normal summer camp. And we have some spaces available for week 2. So if you have some of those older scouts that are starting to get tired of the normal summer camp experience, they may want to check this out. And if there's no other questions or anybody that has anything they want to talk about.
All right, just got one in. Unfortunately, I am still having issues submitting payment via e-check for the balance of our troops registration. Can I bring a check in person to the Scout store again to avoid the late fees?
Yes. Yeah, there are some banks out there that just are not accepting online payments of over a certain dollar amount. Unless you call and tell them to change it, and some of them even won't change it. Yeah, old-fashioned checks still work.
Bill, I will shoot you this troop number so you know who it is when it gets there, because it's going to be at least tomorrow.
Okay. Anything else?
So far, the chat's empty.
All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for taking time out of your busy week. We just wanted to communicate as much as we can and answer questions. Jimmy and the staff are working really hard. I think we're going to have a fabulous summer again this year, and we look forward to seeing you all at camp. If there is nothing else, we'll shut down the recording and send you all on your way. Thank you very much.